All right, excited to tee up this next session. Ipsy has personalized boxes full of beauty, show up at their customers' doorsteps every month. And in this next session, Karina Peterson, Director of Marketing, CRM, and Operations at Ipsy, will talk about how they create unique customer experiences and how they build their year-in review emails. So let's give it up for Karina.
Hello. Hi. How's everyone doing? Welcome back from lunch. I'm Karina Peterson. I'm the Director of CRM Marketing Operations over at Ipsy. Today, I wanted to share with you all the story of Ipsy's first 7 months with Movable Inc. and how we went from having a big personalization vision to actually bringing it to life. Let's get into it. All right, here is what we'll be covering today. I'll start us off with a quick introduction to Ipsy for those of you that are not familiar with the brand. I'll share how we started off partnering with Movable Inc. and our 7-month scale-up plan. And then I'll walk you through 2 campaign deep dives of what we actually brought to life in the first couple of months with Movable Inc. And then I'll close us out with key takeaways and where we're headed next. All right, a little bit about us. Ipsy, at its core, is a beauty subscription and e-commerce business, but it's also so much more than that. We unite brands, creators, and consumers together to provide unprecedented access to each other through the world's largest beauty membership. At Ipsy, unboxing is our love language. Every month, our members open a bag filled with products curated specifically for them. It's our way of saying, we see you, we know you, and we picked this just for you. That level of personalization has always been at the heart and core of our product. But for a long time, our marketing didn't always reflect it. The bag was personal, but we also wanted our lifecycle marketing to reflect that same level of personalization. As marketers, our mission is pretty simple: grow members, drive revenue, increase member value. But increasingly, we realized we couldn't always achieve those goals through segmentation initiatives alone. We needed our campaigns to bring to life the personalized content as well. The opportunity in front of us was figuring out how to actually activate the data inside of our marketing in a way that felt as personal as the bag itself. That became the goal for the CRM team, and ultimately the reason why we started looking for a technology partner to help get us there. That's where our partnership with Movable Inc. came in. We already had a rich customer data set. We also had this strategic vision as a team. What we lacked was the infrastructure to turn that data into beautiful, dynamic, user-level content without rebuilding every single email from scratch. Movable Inc. helped change that across 4 different dimensions. It made activating our data across sources seamless, whether that data was coming from Iterable, our ESP, directly from our data lake, or through custom API connections to tools like constructor.io to enable that content that reflects each member's current behavior, their preferences, their subscription status, etc. Personalized content at scale that supports Ipsy's focus on the member-centric experiences. With Movable Inc., we have the creative and dynamic flexibility to bring any template or design to life so that every email is unique to the member and Ipsy gets to keep its creative control. Operational efficiency. Quick execution with automated creative versioning helps eliminate manual rebuilds for every campaign variant. And we're able to leverage reusable apps across multiple different campaigns. This results in a more lightweight lift on our creative and dev teams since Movable Inc. handles the dynamic rendering. And lastly, added customer value. When a member opens an email and feels seen and heard, and the content is relevant to them, That builds the lasting, long-term relationships that we're aiming for. So, what did our ramp-up timeline look like? Honestly, when I look at this slide, it makes me laugh a little. If you look at it objectively, we probably did everything backwards. In October of 2025 is when we started our partnership with Movable Inc. And instead of spending the first 3 months setting up, doing a bunch of internal training, then starting off with something safe like a countdown timer. We did do a countdown timer and a scratch-off campaign. But immediately after that, we looked at our Movable Inc. implementation team and said, what if we skipped directly to the hard stuff? Within roughly 60 days, we launched a fully personalized year-in review campaign. And then by February of this year, we were integrating Constructor's API to power real-time product recommendations, a first-of-its-kind integration at Ipsy. At the time, we didn't fully appreciate how ambitious that was. We were basically trying to fly the plane while we were also building it. And fortunately, we had great partners at Movable Inc. helping us keep that plane in the air. The traditional ramp-up approach typically starts off at a crawl. Contextual stuff, scratch-offs, etc. Then you proceed to walking, you start using your ESP data, then you start to run, leveraging API connections, and lastly, you're flying, bringing it all together holistically to be fully behavioral, real-time, and with really complex logic. We definitely took a different approach. It's because we wanted to start off with what would resonate the most with our members, and then work our way backwards to figure out how to build it. But that's honestly what I love about Ipsy. We like to hit the ground running, full speed ahead. This honestly made the most sense for our business because we wanted to prove out value from right out of the gate. We started with the story that we wanted to tell and the business metrics we wanted to improve, and then Movable Inc. helped us figure out the technology piece of it. Turns out when you lead with the member experience, you move faster because everyone is aligned on the why. Was it messy at first? Yes. Did we learn things the hard way? Absolutely. Would we do it again? 100%. Okay. Now I want to share with you guys our first use case. This is something that we hit the ground running immediately when we partnered with Movable Inc. At the end of last year, we really wanted to tell a beauty story to our members. We asked ourselves, what would it look like if every member got a personalized recap of their beauty journey with us? We know their favorite products. We know their most loved brands. We know the beauty personas that they embody. Our goal? Make our members feel seen and heard and celebrate their relationship with us over the past year. The answer became Ipsy Unboxed, our take on the year in review campaign. Honestly, when we first brought this idea to the table, the reaction was somewhere in between, I love it, and how on earth are we going to build that? The data complexity alone, pulling unique data points per member, rendering them dynamically, was something we had never done before. And previously for us, an email of this caliber was definitely out of reach due to the tech limitations. But that's exactly why it felt like the right use case to start us off with. If we could pull this off, it would prove out the entire model. So, by activating customer data we already had available to us in Iterable, we built a fully dynamic email for each member, surfacing, for example, how many months that they had been a member with us, what their top products were, their most loved brands, how many deals they snagged from us in the Ipsy shop, their beauty persona, of course, and much, much more. We leveraged in total 21 unique data points about the member, 18 dynamic content modules, 31 personalized copy segments, resulting in infinite creative variants of this email. And the results, honestly, chef's kiss. We even had members going to Reddit to post about their results. But beyond the campaign virality, this campaign drove a 4% increase in 3-month profit, and also an 11% increase in revenue per member on our Ipsy shop. Members who felt seen bought more. Movable Inc.'s custom app made this possible because without it, the logic to build this would have been a nightmare and taken a significantly longer time and complexity to execute. Instead, we easily activated our existing customer data through Movable Inc.'s platform and delivered storytelling at a one-to-one level at scale. I just want to linger here for a second because it is my favorite slide in this presentation. On Reddit, this member said, "Ipsy says blush and bronzers are my most popular category. This is definitely true, LOL. But I can stop anytime, I swear." This is an organic Reddit post from one of our members. No paid promotion, no incentive, just a member who went to their inbox, opened their email, saw themselves reflected back, and then went to the internet to talk about it. That is what personalization done right looks like. It's not a metric, it's a feeling. And when you make your members feel understood, they become your biggest advocates. This is the exact kind of reaction that we're aiming for. All right, that was a great example to share with you guys, but now I want to highlight our second use case. This one in particular is near and dear to my heart because our team has been trying to bring this to life for years. Literally years, we've been wanting to do this. So for us, building this out and bringing it to life feels like a huge win in of itself. Ipsy sells beauty products, and yet beauty is deeply personal. What works for one person's skin type, undertones, and aesthetic does not work for another. A generic top sellers email module was only going to get us so far. So we tapped into Constructor.io's recommendation engine, which already powers product personalization for us on our website, and connecting it directly to Movable Inc. via an API connection. The result, every member sees a real-time personalized product grid in their email based on their actual beauty preferences, their purchase history, and their shopping behavior. This was a first-of-its-kind integration at Ipsy. We partnered with our product team, the Constructor team, and of course Movable Inc. to build and test this in under 2 months. And across more than 30 campaigns, we've tried and tested a few different recommendation strategies and pods so far, including bestsellers, new arrivals, user-level personalization, and makeup under $10. And what's been exciting about having more than 30 campaigns under our belt so far is we're starting to see real patterns emerge, both in terms of what drives clicks and also what actually drives conversions. We found that different pods resonate differently with different members. And although we're still very early on in that learning curve, we know that the signal is there. And it's giving us a clear direction on where to take this next. And so far, the results are already meaningful. A 6% average increase in revenue and a 4% average increase in AOV. And we're just getting started. The more we test different pod combinations, the more refined our strategy gets. When members see products curated for them, they don't just click, they also buy. The Constructor Movable Inc. integration helped turn passive email readers into actual shoppers. All right, lessons learned. Yes, our approach was a bit unconventional. It may not work for everybody, but it worked for us. If we had to do it all over again, these are the 4 lessons we wish we knew when getting started. Lesson number 1, start with the story, not the tech. Both of these campaigns worked for us because we started with the member-centric narrative. What do we want them to feel when they open this email? Start with the complex business problem you want to solve and what data you need to achieve it. and then leverage the technology to deliver it. Speaking about data, this leads me to our second lesson. Clean data is non-negotiable. We invested time in our data architecture and pipelines early on with our engineering and data teams, and it paid off. Transparently, we had spent the year before partnering with Movable Inc., working with these teams to get our data schema set up correctly, the insights that we were looking to achieve, and also the data pipelines to get the data where we needed it to be so we could activate on it. Your personalized creative is only as good as the data that you feed into it. So ask yourself, what data is insightful to your business to deliver a rich story to your audiences? Lesson number 3, partner systems are force multipliers. For us, the constructor integration leveraged data and models we were already using on other channels like our site. We asked ourselves, how can we tap into that without a lot of effort? Now, as a next step, we're challenging ourselves to think about what else can we connect in this same format. And lesson number 4, CRM should feel like a product feature. When our member says, that email was made for me, we've won. We want our emails to feel like an extension of the bag itself and of the brand. Personalized, curated, and a little bit magical. As I share these, I also want to be transparent. In the beginning, we were moving so fast because honestly, we were just so excited to action on these use cases we were previously blocked from doing. In more recent months, we made the deliberate decision to slow down, invest in proper training, and build more systematic processes before accelerating again. That investment is still critical to ensure that everything that comes after is faster and better. So if I'm being honest, the unconventional approach worked for us, but building out the foundation still matters too. So where are we going from here? We're planning to lean into what's working. Constructor is showing a real signal for us, so we're going to keep testing and refining that. We're also aiming to connect more data sources. Our CD API integration will help us tap into real-time behavioral data, which unlocks a whole new level of relevance and timeliness for our campaigns. And of course, test new use cases. Polling, dynamic offer banners, more interactive experiences. We've only scratched the surface of what's possible, and we're excited to see what else will resonate with our members. The thing I'm most excited about is that we've proven the model. We know personalization moves the needle for Ipsy members, and now it's about finding scale, speed, and sophistication. That concludes my presentation today. Thank you all for listening.